Well, my friends, it finally happened. Dappervolk was released 24 hours ago at 10 p.m. on June the 21st of 2020. And this is going to be a short review of the first 24 hours of my experience. I'm going to start by gushing about the art because art is something that obviously I really enjoy doing myself and I enjoy looking at it just as much. And so for Dappervolk to be focused almost entirely around its gorgeous art style, it's impossible for me to ignore it. There were a lot of new items and a lot of new art to see, and oh my goodness, it was just so amazing to be back in a world where everything is drawn in this cutesy, painterly style, where the pets have the most gorgeous little eyes and the avatars have beautiful outfits. Everything is just astounding, and when it comes to the art, my impressions are so positive I can't even put it into words. When it comes to art, it's adorable, and I'm so glad that this is the style that Dappervolk is going with and seems to be sticking with. Despite all of these people who were excitedly talking about it and the 2,000 odd people that registered at 10 p.m. on the dot, there was no crashing of the website. It didn't go down, it stayed up, and though things were very slow, it actually remained stable. The first thing you noticed after you eventually got through the gate was that there were updates to the quests. The first update that was most jarringly obvious was that you could not get a runty turnipling pet from the first quest. Instead, if you did choose to get a runty turnip, you would hand it over to Bully, and Bully would turn it into a quick turnip, or a quickened turnip, I believe. It's basically a magical turnip that hatches in only 1 hour instead of the classic 12 hours. This is important because when you're creating a first-time gaming experience is keeping an audience captivated so that they continue playing non-stop for like the first portion. You don't want to immediately throw out this 12-hour hatching pet so that they have nothing to do for 12 hours. Fortunately, even with the introduction of the 1 hour pet, you were able to continue on with the quest without having it hatched. But it was still really important that they give you that quickened pet so that you understand how pet hatching works, you understand that it takes a while, but you also don't have to wait an infinity of hours before you're actually able to hatch another pet. As you continue into the game, you'll notice that a lot of other quests have been updated too. Along with the updates to quests, there was something else interesting that I found while doing those quests at the very start, is that these things called random events started happening. If you've played Neopets or Novelar or any other pet site games really, you'd probably be familiar with random events. Basically, a little text box pops up at the top of the screen and tells you that you've won an item, or you've won money, or you've lost an item or money. Fortunately, Dappervolk doesn't seem to have taken any of my stuff away from me yet, but it has given me stuff. Random events seem to be capable of giving recipes and food items so far. I haven't seen anything else other than those appear yet, but there might be more. It's only been 24 hours after all. I haven't seen every possibility yet. The new top bar is something else that I want to talk about. Okay, so when we looked at it in the dissecting what is Dappervolk video, I basically pointed out everything that was part of it, pretty much. It's exactly what I thought it would be, and it makes navigation so much easier. From the fact that you can now see how many town hops you've got left really easily in case you're thinking of hopping towns or miss it on the world map page. You can now click the little icon on the left, which will take you directly to the current town that you're in so that you don't have to go world and then scroll down to the town. Considering the town is something that you frequently visit, you want to minimize the amount of clicks it takes to get there. The quests and money tracker is very important too. So yeah, basically top bar, really great. I love that addition. There is a new minigame, and and it's basically match 3. If you've played Bejeweled or you've played Candy Crush Saga, you'll know what match 3 is. You basically swap 2 elements around and you accumulate points as the elements disappear off of the map. It's very fun. I don't think the reward is currently great enough to justify playing the game all that much, but it is super fun and I'm glad that they've implemented a game like this. It's one of my favourite games, so I'll be playing that a lot more. To continue on, we've got the adventuring update. I have barely anything negative to say about the adventuring update. The adventuring is so much better. First of all, you've got the addition of an active mode. Active mode is great. It speeds up how fast your little sprite jumps along the road, and you have to actively participate to jump over obstacles so that you don't lose health. And you have a 15 limit of encounters in this active mode before it returns to passive mode, and then it takes about an hour and a half to recharge so that you can go active mode again. Right, the presents. There are new presents that are coming out for these riddles. So you've got the basic ones that are handed out, like the cone cakes, and they're also handing out new sprite avatars. So while you can have your actual avatar on site and you can have your actual pets, you can now have little different sprites for adventuring as well. And the way to unlock these is to encounter a certain type of gift NPC. They're indicated by what looks like a sparkle on the map, top of the map, and when you encounter them, they basically say, hey, we'll give you something to change up your avatar, make you look more stylish. You click yes, and you get a new sprite outfit. They cost points that you accumulate from solving riddles. So I don't know if it's worth actually buying a sprite. I don't know if there are little benefits you get from buying them, because I haven't done so yet. I haven't accumulated enough points to do so yet. But if there are, then it's probably worth it. If not, I'd probably recommend just sticking with the basic sprite and saving up so that you can get those really epic prizes at the end. That's about all I've got to say for the pros for the first 24 hours. Now, there are unfortunately a few cons. For the whole 24 hours that the site has been live so far, there has been a god-awful amount of lag. It takes from 30 seconds to like 5 minutes to load a single page, and it's pretty disheartening. The Dappervalk team is working on it, but it's kind of painful to play the game in the current state, and I really hope it gets fixed within the next week, because otherwise it's going to drive a lot of people away. The blocking feature is another con. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of chaos involving the blocking feature. While they've finally introduced a way for you to block other members or mute them, when you do so, it sends a notification to the person that you blocked. Currently, it is a point of protest in the user base. There's just a lot of drama around it, and I'm hoping that it gets fixed. There was also a few minor issues with layering for the elves and shirtless avatars. I thought this one was more funny than like an actual con, but the skin patterns for elves were layering on top of the clothing, and a bunch of avatars spawned into Dappervalk without their shirts on. It was quite funny, but it does mean that people have to wait until they get to Peddler's Port to purchase any more basic avatar items. So it's kind of a shame, that they're not going to be able to get those newbie items until they've completed the tutorial. That's pretty much all I have to say about the first 24 hours. I love the game, I really like where it's going, and I'm hopeful that those few cons can be fixed, because they are all fixable. So here's hoping to a productive future, and hopefully I'll be able to make like a 1-week review in a week from now to see how much it's changed, how much it's improved hopefully, or whether the whole user base has descended into complete chaos and annihilation. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!